Hello YouTubers, today I found an awesome find. I've come across a website which I'll link in the description below to some Argos catalogues back from 1998 until 2002. There's more on there, but these are the ones I've selected. Argos is a UK catalogue company where you go in there, look for a catalogue and select the numbers of the products you want and take it to the till and they grab the items for you. But let's start off here. This is from the 1998 summer catalogue. The top camera there, the 640. I don't actually own that model. I have the 840, which is a slightly more advanced because it has the steady shot and stereo, unlike this one here. I own that. And then underneath, you may have noticed that one straight off. That's the legendary TRV65, the pinnacle really of analog, in my opinion, and many others online. Being the best of analog. It's got all the features on there. It's got the extra resolution on the high 8, it's got the stereo, it's got the steady shot, and it's also got a much better sensor than many of the other models. And to this day it still produces very good quality. It's also really pushing towards DV with some of the video footage off it. It's getting quite close to DV. And talking of DV and digital in general, this next one's even more special model. Special to me for many different reasons, but let's move on to that one here. It is the legendary TRV 110. I say legendary because it's the first, if not, well, if it's not one of the first, it's the first of the digital 8 camcorders. This came out in 1999. I owned one back in that time period because I was lucky enough to have some money left from my nan in her will. Also my brothers did and my sister. And my brother worked in an electrical store at the time, and I remember him mentioning this camera. So yes, it recorded the DV digital signal onto existing cheaper 8 analog high 8 tapes. And also because it's the earlier model, they didn't want to shoot themselves in the foot. So as it proudly states there, it is also compatible, meaning it could play the original video 8 and high 8 tapes, while also producing the much superior digital quality onto the cheaper format high 8 tapes. So it really was a success as a format for the average consumer, holiday camera, family camera, and so on. But as you can see, it's 749, which in UK money today, with trends, with changing in pricing, that comes to around about £1,300. Moving on to this next screenshot I've got, it's got the digital 8 camera in the top right. It's the same catalogue. This is a 1999 one, not 98. I should have mentioned that, sorry. So yeah, this camera came out in 1999. The bottom camera, bottom right on the left page, is one that I owned in 98. So that's, I think, must have been bought for me by my parents, or I believe it must have been. And then when the digital 8 camera came out, as I recall, I didn't have slight enough money for it. But because my brother worked in a electrical store, we traded that camera in and then used the money I had to upgrade my purchase. So that's I mean, it's amazing that I found this stuff. Obviously, I'm a camera geek, and if you've watched me a while, you know that. It's a great find. I mean, the catalogues, they don't just have cameras on there; they've got everything. It's the full catalogues, so you'll be able to go down trip down memory lane. They've got cameras, toys of the era, all the pricing that they cost, all the toys that you begged your parents for back in the day. It's all on there. I think it goes back as far into the 60s, certainly 70s are on there. So yeah, it's definitely worth a good read through for memory trip down memory lane. This next one is from the 2002, so we're jumping forward quite a lot here, and it kind of shows it. So this top camera, the TRV 140, I own that now. I didn't own it back in the day, but I do own one now. Digital 8, so it's still got that quality. It's got steady shot, it's got stereo. It's a great model, but the reason these are not so sought after and they're cheaper to pick up these days is because it doesn't have the old compatibility mode, so you cannot play the original Video 8 and high 8 models like you could with the TRV 110. So that was a bit of a kicker for it, but that's how Sony gave you such a range. The one underneath, same time period. I also own this model now. I didn't again back in the day because I had the TRV 110. This one can play the old tapes as well, so it's got a high price tag, as you can see on there. Hopefully you can see on there. And then the model below is the one that really goes for silly money these days on eBay. It's the 330 model. The reason for that one is, yes, obviously it can do, because it's more expensive, it can do the compatibility with the older formats, but it can also do video in for its jack. So you can use included jack cable to Furnos to plug into, say, a VHS player, for instance. And you can stream media into the camera and then out for its FireWire connection directly to your computer on Mac. So yeah, they go for good, £300-400 even now. Where the top two you can pick up sort of a little over 100, if not cheaper, if you're lucky. But I hope you've enjoyed this trip down memory lane. It's just, as I say, it's great to see the cameras, stuff that I would have loved back in the day, and some of the things I did have back in the day, and then things I've also got now, and the prices that they cost then, and the features, and seeing them back when they're new. But yeah, I'll include the link underneath, and hopefully you can get a nice kick out of seeing the old stuff as well. Speak to you in the next one.